We are now live. Can you hear me okay?
Yes, I can.
Perfecto. All right, so I think there's an actual 5 to 10 second delay. I don't know if you're watching the YouTube channel yourself as well,
No.
as I am, so it's a little bit confusing. But anyways, we are live now, so all of this will be recorded and I'll launch it onto YouTube later on. But just to give a quick introduction, my name's Alex, and one of my recent projects that I'm doing is starting the channel Promote Your Business in Oslo. And so today I'm speaking with Patience Allen. You want to say hello, Patience?
Hello.
Patience is the CEO of Legelisten, something that I describe basically as like a TripAdvisor, but for when you're looking for doctors or dentists or general practitioners in Norway, all of Norway. It's not just Oslo. So without further ado, Patience, why don't you go ahead and tell a little bit of background about yourself and about the company.
Yeah. Hi, thanks, Alex. I'm Patience Allen. I've been working with and in startups for over 20 years now, and I'm currently the CEO of Legelisten. Legelisten, for those who don't know, is basically, as you said, a ranking and review site for healthcare practitioners in Norway. So it helps you find who's a good doctor for you, basically. One of the reasons why Legelisten was started years ago, and when I say years ago, I mean 5 years ago, was because we were looking around and we couldn't find any real information other than just straight up marketing materials about the different doctors, and even that was scarce. So in Norway, you have the right to choose your doctor. But if all you're looking at is a name on a list and you know nothing else about that doctor, you don't really have a real choice. And so we saw that there were a lot of people just asking their friends and trying to get recommendations, but everybody's need is a little bit different. So I would classify myself as a very demanding customer. I want a doctor that's super customer friendly. I want one that sticks to the facts and tells me and says, you know what, I don't know, I need to research this. I have a good friend. She wants a doctor who's going to say, oh, that's really horrible. Oh, let me help you. Oh, I totally understand. And it's very empathetic. She recommended a doctor to me that she loves and I hated. It doesn't work well that way. So we set up Legelisten, which is a review site, so that anybody can write a review about their doctor and explain a bit more about why the doctor is so great. Or maybe not so great. Maybe the doctor has a few areas to work on. And it's also there for doctors and healthcare professionals to read and get that honest feedback, which is very hard to give face-to-face sometimes. So it's a site where all the reviews are free. You can write as many reviews as you want, but only one review will show per healthcare professional. But we've got 28 different categories. We're adding new ones all the time. So you've probably got 5 or 6 different doctors, a fastlege or a general practitioner. You've probably got a dentist. You might have a gynecologist if you're a woman, or maybe you have a chiropractor, or maybe you've had some surgery, or any number of things. And so all these doctors are listed. Now, the one caveat is we only have the doctors and healthcare professionals you can actually choose. So when you're in a hospital, if you don't really get to choose who your surgeon is, who your anesthesiologist is, we don't have them listed. But if you're going privately, if you're going direct to the healthcare professional as a specialist, then you can choose. And then those people are on our sites. We don't have them listed. Privately, if you're going direct to the healthcare professional as a specialist, then you can choose. And then those people are on our site.
Sorry I know I'm just giving you the finger here, not in a literal sense, but I don't know if you can hear that background noise.
It
Do you
sounds
hear it
like
on
there's
your
a
end?
delay. I don't hear it on my end.
Okay. Okay, it could be my side. Give me 1 minute. Give me just 1 minute. I just want to make sure that I have it fixed on my side.
Sure.
Okay. Okay, it could be my side. Give me 1 minute. Give me just 1 minute. I just want to make sure that I have it fixed on my side. Okay. Okay.
Yep.
Why don't I think it's because I had something loaded in the background.
Okay.
Okay, I think we're good to go there. So, I mean, just to let some people that are watching right now, we have 4 viewers right now, and I just want to let them know that in the future, if you want, you can go ahead. If you're watching it on YouTube, there should be on the right-hand side, there's a little live chat window that you can sign in. I think you have to have a Gmail account. I don't think, yeah, or a Hotmail account. You can sign in there. You can ask us any questions. It'd be better if you ask Patience questions because she'll be the expert to answer anything about Legelisten. But if you have anything to comment, ask about, feel free to ask your questions there. I think that's just about it. I just want to make sure that that is available. The other thing too, if you're watching this later on, feel free to make comments on the actual video itself on Facebook or on the Promote Your Business in Oslo page. If you just type in PYBIO, PYBIO on Facebook, you'll be able to find the group, or the Facebook page. So no, thanks again for the introduction, Patience. Again, you said a lot. So I mean, I think my small blurb about it is that, am I kind of accurate when I say like comparing it to TripAdvisor, like being accurate in that sense?
Yes.
That's
Yeah.
cool. There's a lot of information. You said you can only make one post ever, or at one time, or for one doctor. Can you elaborate a little bit more on that? I didn't quite get that.
Sure. You can make one post at a time per doctor. So as soon as you write a new review of the same doctor, your first one disappears. It's replaced by the new one. And that's to keep out fake reviews or trolls or people spamming, and to make it be a more valuable site for everyone. Your sound's dropped out. So I don't hear you.
Can you hear me now?
Yes. Yes, I can hear
Okay,
you.
that's all the learning. This is a fun experience for me too. I have multiple mute buttons on my screen. So I tapped one, you still couldn't hear me. I tapped the other one. And while you and I were playing around before we got started at 8 o'clock, we're having a little bit of fun with the sound too. And now that I see that, it was probably my fault, thinking back on our issue. So do you want to, now it might be a little bit of a challenge, but what we'd like to do is share your screen. Take us through some things. Now, the challenge is that, I guess I can ask you this, I'm curious myself, is there a plan in the future to launch the website in English? Will it be available in English?
I would love to. Right now, it's a resource question. We simply don't have any money to afford that. And people can use Google Translate. It's not the best, but it does do a okay job.
Okay, so just out of curiosity, I should have asked you actually before we went live. What do you think about doing the sharing screen? Do you want to just keep it in Norwegian, or do you want to use Google Translate? What do you think?
Well, if we do Google Translate, it'll have to be on, you'll have to share, because my computer, it's been deactivated. So mine's only in Norwegian, and I don't know how to get it back just yet, so sorry about that.
No problem at all. Let's go ahead, and because you can just, I mean, explain exactly what you're looking at and just explain through what you're going through, what you're clicking on. And then, I mean, anyone can also look at the video later on and just compare it to what they're doing, and etc. Do it that way.
Yeah. Well, if we go to a screen share, and we'll go away from you, Alex, and go to the website, it's a basic search bar here, and there's a drop down with all the 28 different categories of doctors that are available. One of the things that might be very interesting for people that I think not a lot of people know about is if you go to dentists and you do a search, you can get up a list of all the dentists and you can search, pick female dentists, male dentists, whether they're public or private, whether they're specializations they have or extra credentials. But you can also, for some of them, you can book directly. So set up an appointment, you don't have to call them, and that's pretty cool. You can also compare with dentists all their different prices. So you can see who's the cheapest. And you can see if it's just a general checkup, if it's a little filling, if you've got a cavity, if it's a large filling, if it's a root canal, all sorts of things, and see what sort of price ranges they have before you contact them. And in addition, you can sort by character or the score that they have. Now, this is the character or the score, the ranking is by stars, 5 stars being the best. And it's both the average and the number of reviews. Doctor here, Roberto Placienza, I have a horrible time pronouncing his last name. I'm sorry, Roberto. Over at Legelisten has quite a few reviews, and almost all of them are 5-star reviews. People like him very much. You can sort by doctor's name, so it comes alphabetically. You can sort by location if you want. That's up here at the top, and that's for all categories. So you can pick where you are and limit it to your geographic region.
Can I stop you for a minute?
Go for it.
I'm just curious, when you go back to that rating.
Yes.
How can I do this without, here, let me see if I can just do this. Okay, so I'm sharing your screen. So on the left is a category. So this into Robert, let's, is there a different, easier name? So no, Robert Placencia.
Yeah.
He has 52 reviews, correct?
Yes.
And he's a 5-star rating.
Yes.
Is there anything that would differentiate? So he has a 5-star rating. What if a person only has 2 stars? Would sort it by, this isn't sorted by, so what I'm wondering, because I know I'm comparing you back and forth with something that's completely off track in terms of the subject, but I'm going back to TripAdvisor, and I know that when I look at hotels, I know that if I look at a review that like has 4,000, or sorry, in this case maybe 50, it's probably more accurate than something that only has 5 or 6. Do you account for that or anything like that, or is it right now it is just the average?
Well, that's why it's the average, because it counts both the number of reviews and the quality of the reviews. So if you've got a 2-star person or who's gotten 2 reviews and a 3-star person who's gotten 2 reviews, the 3-star person with 2 reviews will come up higher on the ranking than the person with 2 stars. And that's kind of what you see here. So the guy underneath Roberto has 62 reviews, but even though he's 5-star here, probably there's a few reviews that are lower scored than Roberto's. So Roberto comes higher because his total average is higher.
Yeah, no, okay, that answered my question. So no, that makes sense. So it does actually account for that, and someone that has lower number of actual comments or votes could potentially still be up at the top. Yeah. Exactly, actually, in this scenario. It's a good scenario to give as an example. Yeah. Okay, so no, go on. What? Okay, yeah, no, I'll keep letting you go because I've unfortunately my Norwegian isn't A1, so keep going with your
so you can also sort by price. So I just sorted by price. So now the cheapest dentists or the dentist with the cheapest general checkup prices come up. And so you see it's a different guy, and he's not got as many reviews. There's similar reviews here, but he's got much nicer prices. 250 instead of 450 and 750 for a regular checkup. So you can decide what's more important to you. Is your pocketbook more important? Is it okay with a good enough doctor, or a good doctor, but he just doesn't have that many reviews yet? Or are you wanting somebody because you're feeling a little uncomfortable, you're a little nervous about your visiting your dentist, you're a little unsure about dentists in general, you've had bad experiences, so you want somebody that a lot of people like. But here you can actually sort by that and find the one that's right for you. And I can also show you something else with the fastlege, because this is also a very popular category. With the GPs or your general practitioner or your fastlege, you can sort by if they have availability or not, because you may find a great doctor, a great fastlege or a GP in your area, but they've got no available spots. And they may not have any available spots for 2 to 3 years.
Wow, okay.
Yeah, so it's pretty important to be able to sort by, okay, who's got available spots? And do they have any reviews? And what do those reviews say? And often the folks with no reviews whatsoever, it's because they're a new fastlege, they're a new general practitioner, and they haven't gotten any reviews, or the people who visit them just haven't gotten around to writing one yet. So it doesn't necessarily mean they're bad doctors. It just means promoted, getting reviews written. People haven't taken it upon themselves to write a review. So it's pretty important if you go to one of these doctors and you have a great experience or a not so great experience, that you write a review about them so that other people can feel a bit more comfortable and know what they're getting into and what kind of doctor they're getting. And as I said before, you can sort by location, and you can sort also by age. People don't want newly educated doctors, those under 30. They want somebody who's very experienced, who's been around the block. Other people, they want somebody who's younger because they have the newest education, they know the newest techniques, the newest training, what's happening, the newest research. So you can sort by age as well to sort of get an idea of whether they're newly educated or highly experienced. You can sort it so that only the ones that are available have available spots show on your list. And you can also, of course, sort by gender and specialization. I know a lot of people, a lot of women like women doctors. I would presume that men also would sometimes like male doctors. They might feel more comfortable with the same gender who understands their physical needs and challenges. And so it's a good way to sort of think differently about how you choose your medical professional.
No, there's a lot more information than I was thinking. And then there's comments on here on the far. What are you logged in as a certain kind of a user, and that's why that pencil is showing on the far right?
Nope. That's if you want to write a new review about him, about this particular doctor, you can write right from here, or you can always go into their profile, where you can see a bit more information. You see when he was authorized and available spots and the contact information for the clinic, as well as a map. And you can write a review here on the top of the page. And you can also go down and see the actual reviews that people have written. And you can see thinking.
Yeah, no, I see. I see. I'm curious. Have you had any kind of issues with doctors where they have a low review? What do they do?
Well, it depends on what you mean by low review. So often if a doctor, like these reviews here are pretty good. The best doctor I've ever had, the world's best doctor, even though they're not completely 5-star, when it comes to availability, he gets only 3. Everybody's always got at least one or a review where the person isn't as thrilled. This guy's pretty good so far, but generally speaking, what doctors tend to want to do is have things more precise. Some doctors, of course, would like all negative reviews removed, but most of them, what they object about is the wording. So you can say that you feel like your doctor wasn't listening to you, was distracted by other things and not paying attention to you. That's fine. Say that your doctor didn't care about you. Well, the doctor's probably not going to agree with you. If you say that the doctor was a horrible person, well, there again, the doctor's probably not going to agree with you. And so it's about how you phrase it and how useful the criticism is. Like, can they do something about it? If somebody says you're horrible, there's not much they can do about it because they don't know why you think that.
I understand what you're saying.
So it's the more constructive criticism is, the less of a problem the doctors have with it. Mm-hmm. They generally, they're fine. Let's see if I can go here to this front page, and I'll try to find somebody with maybe a lower score, and see if I can find a bad review. Might not be that easy. It's always never easy when you want to find one. Everybody, of course, is 5-star.
No doubt. It's really impressive that that I see a lot of the ratings the majority are 5-star. So that's really good, I think. I find we were talking about this not too long ago about, I mean, again, referring back to TripAdvisor, that people love to write negative things. They don't really like to take the time to write a compliment and say, like, I was just at the doctor today, and when he drilled my teeth in, I felt lovely. I highly suggest to go there. Like, they'll never take the time there. Of course they will take the time to go and say, like, I hated this experience and it sucked. And so with that being said, it's nice to see that people have taken the time to done the ranking and maybe made a positive review, because it can impact the doctor in the long run, especially when people learn about this platform.
Yeah, and we've got quite a few visitors. We've got about 250,000 to 300,000 visitors a month. So I will go back to the video and stop. Did I stop screen sharing? I probably didn't, but
there you go.
Okay, great. So we've got about 250,000 to 300,000 visitors every month. So it's a fairly known website. It's just that people don't know our brand name. So they'll go, oh yeah, I saw that I was seen on a website that had reviews of doctors, and they never remember the name. And it's us, because there isn't anybody else in Norway.
Yeah, I couldn't agree with you more on that. I remember we were at a dinner, my wife and I, and somebody had started talking about Legelisten, and I was like, oh, that's pretty cool. And they said the name, and then I think you and I were just chatting about something. And I was like, what, Legelist? I'm like, I've heard about that. And then you explained what it is, and I was like, yeah, there's chatter going on about it. I think, and even people that I speak to at my workplace, have you heard of Legelisten? And sometimes they don't know, but then I say like, oh, it's an online website where you can look at the reviews on doctors and find out who the best is in your area, etc. And they're like, oh yeah, I've heard about that for a while, you know. And so yeah, it is definitely. So what are your strategies in terms of growth? I know I take a moment right now, and I know that you're looking for, you know, some interns, I believe. I don't know if you're still looking for interns. Is that something that's on your agenda?
Yeah, we're always looking for interns because I think we need to give back. People give so much to us by writing these reviews, by interns helping out, that I also want to give back and help people get into the workforce and get connections and learn more about the healthcare sector in Norway, and in any way I can, really. Because Legelisten is in many ways a sort of we the people website. It's powerful because people are coming together and sharing information together and sharing their experiences. And that's invaluable.
I
And
can
so I like to do that as much as I can too.
No, I couldn't agree with you more. Part of one of the biggest reasons why I started this project of mine, call it what you will, is the whole essence or the whole reason behind it is to connect businesses with their consumers and their people that are using their product. Because I think I'm a big fan of transparency, and and I have a big philanthropist mindset. So if you can share what they're thinking, and they can also learn what you're thinking. You know, I think it's just going to make the business a lot better. Take their suggestion. Unfortunately, I haven't seen any suggestions come through. I've been watching the online chat. I was hoping something would come through and ask you a question. But anyways, to take those, if there are posts after the fact, you can look at those, get back to those individuals that have other questions. So I think it's a great thing that you're even doing this, because I hope a lot of other companies do as well, but I think it takes a lot of, it says something about the business to be willing to, this is completely unscripted. You had really no idea what I was going to ask you.
Yeah.
There was a few things that I said like that you can cover while I knew that I was going to have to promote this in the very beginning. And I mean, I think you've done a really good job.
Thanks, and likewise. I think it's a great website for finding what you need. You know, I liked it before I joined it. I just joined it recently. I'm not one of the founders. And we've added video doctors, which is a whole new category in Norway. Like, there aren't that many. It's a brand new area. And we just recently added psychologists. And we're still fine-tuning that list. So I'd love any feedback. I'd love any, what do you want? What would be useful? How can we improve the site? Just let me know. Contact me at any time.
Yeah,
And I'll do
I
what we
will
can do.
I'll leave all the contact information on this on the video. But I also wanted on that subject about video doctors. I don't want to dive into that. We've talked a lot about how the website works, but I'm just curious when you brought that up just now. How does the website work? Is it going to have a separate section for how those are rated? Are people going? It's going to be different, or it's already on now, or
It's live. It went live in January, and psychologists are in the process of going live now in June, July. So you can find a list of video doctors on the website. It's its own category, and you can do a video doctor. So if you're out far away, or you're in a position where you can't go out and go to your doctor's office, or there's just too long of a line, well,
yeah,
you have to wait. You can get an appointment the next day.
yeah. I can't see it being. Well, this is a corny joke. I guess there's not going to be a very long line for those individuals on the online doctors. Anyways, I'm not a comedian, so. Okay, well, why don't you go ahead and share how people can contact you directly, and we'll wrap this up.
Sure. So my contact information, I will do it like this. Does this work? There you go. It's Patience Allen, and it's Legelisten. But the website itself is that. So you can always just contact us on any channel. You can just say this is for patients or the CEO, or just ask a general question. We've got a few part-time folks helping us out, reading some of these emails and replying to them as well. So forgive us if it takes a little bit of time to get back to you, but we will get back to you. We try to reply to everything.
All right. Well, again, thank you for taking the time with me. Maybe in the future we can do this again, and I think it'd be a good idea, and I can run through the website like I'm an end user, and hopefully we can get some chit chatters on the other side of things and get the ball rolling. And I look forward to seeing more things come from Legelisten.
Great. Thank you very much.
All right. Take care.
You too. Bye-bye.